Hi everyone, John here and welcome to another of my Toon Boom Harmony animation tutorial videos. In this series we are drawing, rigging and animating a minion from scratch, and we are now well into the animation process. In the last video I started the animation and today I'll be continuing on from where I left off. So thank you for all of your comments. And some of the kind of main comments have been that you'd like to see me animate real time rather than having big chunks of the video sped up. So I will try and do as much as I can in this video at normal speed. So let's just have a little recap of the animation so far. We have done basically the kind of him pondering at the start and the banana coming in. So now we're on to the important jumping section. So he's going to do, I think it's 3 or 4 little jumps to try and grab the banana. So in this video I want to do as much of those jumps as I possibly can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off me and my little camera, and I'm going to kind of crack on with the animation, and then I'll do a voiceover after I've finished to kind of talk about what I'm doing. That way I can just focus on the animation and do all the talky bit later. So I will turn me off and we'll get cracking. So the first thing I'm going to do is go along to where the jump is going to happen and put in a series of keyframes. And now you'll notice I'm putting them in sort of next to each other. This is because I'm not going to do any timing yet. I'm just going to block out the keyframes. So here you see I'll put in, I think it's 5 or 6 keyframes. And I'll explain what each keyframe is. So the first one is the kind of pose as it is at the moment. And this is the 4th keyframe, so that's going to be where he lands after his jump. The 3rd keyframe, I'm just turning on the onion skin there, is going to be the high point of the jump, so I'm going to move him up and put him into the high point, like so. And then you can see where the first frame is, the landing frame is, and the sort of middle frame is. I'm just copying and pasting his position there so that those 2 frames at the end are exactly the same. And now the 2nd frame here is the kind of anticipation frame. So all movement has some sort of anticipation before it happens. So if you think about an arm moving, if it's going to move left to right, it will generally move a little bit to the left before it swings to the right. So you want to kind of add a bit of anticipation to all your movements, whether it's the whole body or whether it's an arm or a leg. So here I'm just positioning the body, getting ready for the jump. So he's moved from his standard position into a kind of anticipation position before the major movement. So in this situation, obviously, he's basically crouching down, his arms are coming up, and then he's going to force his arms down and his body up at the same time as he does the jump. So I'm bending his knees here and his arms and getting them to look like he's kind of crouching down, ready to do a big pounce. Obviously flicking between the frames is crucial. I do this a lot, so you might get a bit bored of that, but I always flick between them almost on every movement that I make, just to kind of be sure that I'm definitely happy with the changes I'm making. So here's the kind of jump move. Obviously it's just a sort of standard template position at the moment, but now I'm going to go in and change that to look more like he's in mid-air. So again, as you can see, I kind of work my way along the keyframes. I do a bit at a time. I don't generally do one whole keyframe and then move on to the next one. I generally sort of set the basic positions, then I'll go back and maybe do a bit on the arms. I mean, some animators like to do one keyframe at a time and get that pose right. It's just a way that I like to work. I like to go to and from each keyframe, doing a little bit at a time, and until I'm happy with each keyframe. So obviously in this one, his body is going to be slightly bent backwards, his arm's going to be raised, and he's trying to grab the banana as he jumps. Obviously his left leg that I'm playing with here obviously would be pointing back towards the ground where it's come from, and the other leg is going to be pointing to where it's going to land. quite a lot of this this sort of animation, it's basically trial and error. So obviously, you can move it around as much as you want. So there's no worry about if you get it wrong or right. If it doesn't look right, you can go back and just change it and make it look the way you want it to. So here, I was kind of quite happy with this bit. I thought maybe he could do a bit more of a tilt as he jumps. And this frame is the kind of extreme landing position. So the same with the anticipation. All sort of final movements end with a bit of a what's called a kind of ease or a settle. So this frame here is the kind of extreme position before he settles back to his resting position. So I'm just adding in a kind of like a squat again, or a bend from the first part of the jump. I'm adding a kind of landing position. So all the weight is going into the ground, and then he will rest and settle in a more sort of straight up standing position. Things like the hair obviously are really important when it comes to animation, because they just add a bit more reality to the character. So little flicks of the hair, or if you've got a tail or something on the character, or eyebrows, things like that, and the ears bouncing maybe even a little bit. You can add so much very delicate character to a character by just making very subtle movements to these parts of the body. Again, in this situation, I'm just going through and putting in kind of blocking out the keyframes for the hair, just to give a sense of bounce. But I will maybe go back over that at the end and just sort of fiddle with it and make sure I'm really happy with it. It shouldn't be kind of too eye-catching, but it should just add to the animation to make him more believable. So again, like I said, there's no timing here. All the keyframes are right next to each other, and I'll spread them out later on when I'm happy with the basic key posing. So one important thing to mention is, like I said in the last video, is not to be too fixed to your rig. Like here, I was squashing and stretching him as he lands and as he jumps. So obviously when he's at his high point, he'll be stretched out, and obviously when he's bending down, he'll be a bit more squashed. So, really do kind of play with the rig, push it as far as you can, or even break the rig sometimes if you need to get the pose that you're after. I mean, this is quite a safe animation. I'm not going too crazy with it just because of time, really, more than anything. But yeah, really do push your rig, or if not break it, to kind of get the poses that you need. And that way you'll get a much nicer animation. And this is a prime example here. I'm moving the legs and the feet off of rig, so I'm kind of actually, not just bending them from their pivot point. I'm actually moving the position of the foot and the leg to match where I want it to be on the rig. And if you ever need to go back to your original position, just copy and paste a keyframe from somewhere else, like I have before, and then edit that back into position. So if you feel the arms, the deformer arms are getting out of position, then just copy and paste a keyframe from before, and then sort of move the character again. I'm just checking the keyframes here. I'm just going over the top of them and pressing F6, which gives you a keyframe, just to make sure that every single layer has definitely got a keyframe on it, which it should have. But I was having a few issues here, so I just wanted to check just to make sure that every single layer had a keyframe. So I'm now starting to spread out those keyframes because I'm happy with the overall look of them. So I am starting to spread them out and kind of add some timing now. So obviously it depends on the type of animation you're doing. It depends on the style you're going for, depending on how sort of natural it looks or how kind of cartoony it looks. And again, this is the joy of kind of using something like Harmony, where you can literally drag the keyframes around and play them instantly. So you can, rather than having to redraw whole sections, you can actually just change the timing within a couple of seconds, really, and go back until you're happy with it. So what I'm thinking about here is the anticipation. So that should be quite slow. So he bends down, kind of getting ready to jump, and then the actual jump itself should be quite quick, because obviously the kind of animation style here is quite snappy and bouncy. So nice slow anticipation and then a really quick jump. I think I actually made it too slow originally, so here you can see me moving the keyframes back a bit and making it all a little bit faster. Again, I'm just kind of making the landing position a bit more extreme to kind of add some more comedy to it. I thought he was a bit of a soft landing, so I'm trying to add a bit more weight and a bit more of a heavy landing to the animation. So again here I thought it's a little bit slow still, so I'm going back in and I'm just making it a little bit faster, spreading it out. If you can see that little dot that I'm near there on the soundtrack, that's the kind of noise as he kind of jumps. So I'm trying to make sure that the high point of the jump is on that noise, because obviously basically he's kind of holding his breath, and as he jumps he's kind of releasing the air from his lungs and making a little sound. So I'm trying to time everything so that the high point of the jump is when he makes the noise, and obviously he lands with the after that. And timing is something that you kind of naturally get better at. I mean, I'm still not particularly great at it, but I'm better than I used to be. So don't worry if you kind of put it in naturally and it's far too slow or far too fast first time. Just play around with it. It is something that comes with experience. And like I said, I'm not particularly great at it, and it takes me a while to kind of get movements looking the way I like them. But it's so easy to do in Harmony. So I'm almost sort of happy with that now. I'm kind of been working on that for, well, it must be about 10 minutes now for that one jump. So, and I'm pretty happy with the keyframes and the timing. So I'm just making just the last few small amends now. Well, actually, I think I'm starting the second jump actually. So this is the anticipation keyframe for the next jump. Obviously, the sound here is quite quick, so there's no pauses in between the jumps. So I'm kind of going straight into one after the other. So this makes the kind of anticipation quite difficult, because obviously there's not many keyframes not many frames in between each keyframe. So I'm having to kind of go from one to the other really quickly here. I'm just getting him ready for his second jump. Again, trying to make them different, so not trying to make the same jump again, obviously, because each jump he's getting a bit more aggressive at it. He starts off a bit gentle, then as it becomes more difficult, he's getting a bit more aggressive and trying to get the banana a bit more. So each jump should be different. If it's the same jump every time, it'll look a bit repetitive. So to add a bit more character to it, I'm trying to change it around a bit and make each jump different. So what I will do now is I will speed up the next section to about 4 times speed, just so that this video doesn't go on for like a whole hour. And obviously it basically is the same process. So for each jump I will make those keyframes, go in and until I'm happy with it, and then I will paste them out and time them. So here we go, I've sped it up now, so I will let you watch as I animate. Okay, so we're now at the stage when I've kind of got the basic gist of the bulk of the animation done. I've got him now jumping and catching the banana. Obviously, it's not perfect yet. I've not actually done him holding the banana yet, but the basic kind of gist of the animation is now there. There's lots and lots and lots of fine tuning to do. This is just kind of almost like the keyframing stage, really. I'm just going to get in the basic motion in place that I'm happy with. I'll go back and really play with the eyes and the hair and stuff a lot later. But I'm kind of generally happy with the gist now of the animation. The jump's looking pretty good. Adding a little bit of a swing of the arm there to kind of get a bit of character in. There's still, like I said, there's lots to do, but we're kind of getting there. But before I go on to the kind of final section of the animation, I want to kind of start working on the banana. Obviously, its positioning now is key to the final part of the animation. So I'm going to go through now and just sort of play with the banana a bit and the rope and just try and get that to fit into the animation as well. So that's the next stage, and then I think after that, that'll be the end of this video for today because I'm running out of time. So yeah, I'll crack on with the banana now. Right, okay, so I think for today I'm almost finished. So let's have a little look and see how we're getting on.
Banana. Oh, hey, oh, yeah, come on, banana. Banana.
So there we go. So one more little look just so you can see it again. See what you think.
Banana. Oh, hey, oh, yeah, come on, banana. Banana.
So obviously, like I said, there's still quite a lot to do, but I'm on the whole quite pleased with it. The one thing that I do want to explain just before I go is the ease in and ease out, because that's quite a few people sort of commented that they didn't quite understand that. So let me just go back into the section that we've done of the animation today, which is from here, and we're going to do ease in and ease out. So basically what you want to do is you want to select the peg, the first peg that you want to ease in and ease out on. And so for example, this motion here, he's bending down, so he'll start a little bit slower, get quicker, then he'll ease out of the movement to that point there. So what we want to do is click on this button here, which is your ease, set ease for multiple parameters button, and then you can adjust this and then go apply next and make this curve here nice and smooth. And also the more you pull it, the more frames there'll be at each end of the movement. the less it'll be, and then so it'll be a bit more extreme. So again, it might look a little bit like nothing really happens, but it will add a little bit of padding to either end. You'll see it gets a little bit faster at that frame in the middle now. And again here, boom. This one here I think will need some as well. So we'll just click on that. Just pull that slightly, apply to next, and pull that one out. Apply and close. Obviously, this is quite a quick, snappy animation, so there's not much space really for ease in, but particularly on the kind of resting positions, the kind of settling positions, a little bit of ease in and ease out works quite nicely. Again, on this one, it'd be quite nice to add a little bit of kind of ease in and ease out on that one. So all you do is you go through basically and adjust the ease in and ease out on them. Again, on this one, it'd be quite nice to have a little bit in. And again, with the banana particularly, like the rope here, as it's starting to swing, this is really crucial stuff. So again, you just make sure that we've got enough frames there to make a nice ease in and ease out on those frames. Probably a little bit too strong on that one. Okay, so there we go. I think I'll just play it one more time for you and we'll call it a day today.
Banana. Oh, hey, oh, yeah, come on, banana. Banana.
Okay, so thanks for watching. Oh, he's still screaming. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed that so far. I reckon it's probably going to be another couple of videos still until we finish. There's still lots to do, but please stick with me, and there's plenty more videos to come. So please do subscribe by clicking on the big red button, and if you would like to watch some previous videos, then please click on one of the moving buttons above my head. And please leave any comments or feedback that you have. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I will definitely try and reply to all that I receive. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. All right, bye for now.